Getting stuck is easy. Getting unstuck is not so easy, unless you know how. Whether it's personally or professionally, the steps to change are exactly the same. There's a clear-cut formula to living the life you want and deserve. Are you ready to make a change? It's easier than you think. Go to thehabitformulabook.com and get yourself a free copy. Remember, you don't even have to read it. Just do the exercises at the end of each chapter. If you want me to hold your hand, upgrade your order to the premium course. These principles are the same steps I took to work 25% less and make 30% more. If you seriously want to change something in your life, thehabitformulabook.com will show you how. And get yourself a free copy or upgrade to the premium course for even better and faster results. And get unstuck today. thehabitformulabook.com.
Hey everybody, you know what time it is. It's lunchtime with the Habit Master. I'm your host, Dr. Stephanie Aldrich, and I help people get fast and predictable results by tweaking their daily routines, aka their habits, so that they can actually get the results that they've been striving for but haven't obtained. Before we get started, I want to thank a bunch of people who grabbed a free copy of the Habit Formula book. We've got Fatima Khan, Dorothy Noon, Dylan Wijarthane, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, Zej Martinez, Dylan Robinson, Margot Bistansky, and Muhammad Zion, or Zion, I'm not sure. Dylan, Margot, and Muhammad also upgraded their order so they can get results fast, because we really jump in and dive into the material. And it's the same material that's helped me go from having 3 days off in 2017 to having 6 weeks off, only working 3 days in my dental practice and actually making more money. So these are the same steps that I took, and all I did was write it down. If you guys want your free copy, go to thehabitformulabook.com and grab a free copy. And also, if you want to upgrade and really dive deeper into this material and get results faster and easier than you have ever thought possible, upgrade your order by going to thehabitformulabook.com and sign up for one of the programs. So today is Mommy Mondays. And over the weekend, if you're a Facebook friend or just kind of are in the inner circle, you know that I spent some time with my girlfriends, some college friends over the weekend. We did some shopping, we did a lot of dancing. My legs are still sore from that. And we basically had an awesome time, ate some really good food, and giggled and just reminisced about the good old days. And what we're going to talk about today is me time, and also planning some time to spend with friends, either new friends or good old friends, which usually are the best kind of friends because you already know all their personalities. You know what they like, you know what they don't like, and more than likely you can always have a good time with them. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some studies that I found over the weekend, and also how you can carve out a little more time for yourself so that you're not depressed, because that's a horrible condition to have, but also feel like you're not living your life for other people. We do that enough, especially as moms. We have to make sure that we're living our life. living our life for ourselves too. It's our life. We don't want to waste it. So, what's funny was I was just kind of thinking about our trip. So in the beginning of the trip, so Friday we kind of met late afternoon. People had to work and whatever and had appointments and stuff. So one of my girlfriends came over, parked a car, and then her and I drove together. But what was funny was in the beginning of the weekend, everybody's moms, everybody's working, everybody's busy, and it was all about work and the hubbies and the kids and all of that. As the weekend progressed, and we're only talking a 2-day weekend, okay? Well, Friday through Sunday, okay? Saturday was the main day where we hit the shopping and all that. But what was interesting to me was Friday, it was all about them, all about pretty much everything that we do as moms and kind of still in that mommy realm. By Saturday, the day after we went shopping, while we're having a nice dinner and of course some drinks, I noticed things started shifting. And they shifted from being a mom, being responsible for other people, trying to put out fires and solving issues with the kids and planning this, planning that. It suddenly shifted to themselves or ourselves, where it was about us. It was about what we liked, what we wanted to do, our plans, and it was interesting that only a day and a half that kind of thing happened. And even by Sunday, a few of us went to brunch because we had a little bit of time, and that conversation was totally about us and about what we liked and what we wanted to do and all of that. So it was interesting to see how we can get caught up as moms, focusing on taking care of things, right? We're the caretaker. Normally, we're the planner. We're the, Band-Aid person. We're the, shoulder when someone's upset. Then we're also a wife or a significant other, and we're kind of put in charge of everything, of the household, making sure that, chores are done, that everyone's fed, that, life kind of goes on. So we almost act like the glue to everything. The problem is, what do we do for ourselves, right? Sometimes we lack the focus on ourselves and what we want to accomplish with our time, with our lives. What are our goals? What do we want to do, right? Because we're always focused on other people. Now, a lot of times people get depressed as their kids move off to college because they don't have a life to return to. They maybe haven't worked or maybe haven't worked full time, and now they have nothing to do. The hubby's still working. They're not old enough to retire yet. And it's like, oh my gosh, I've spent 18 to 22 years of my life thinking about other people. Now it's time for me to focus on myself, and I don't know what to do. I don't have any ambition. I don't know, I'm lost basically. And that's something we're going to talk about now in today's episode, because I don't want that to happen to anybody. And I know myself, I have struggled throughout the mommy process. I only have one child, so it makes it a lot easier to deal with. And having a husband. But some people have multiple kids. They don't have a significant other that they can, rely on. But how can you keep your sanity, keep your ambition, and actually live the life that you want? And that's what we're going to talk about today. I read an article on motherly.com that says most moms only get 30 minutes a day, if they're lucky, to themselves. 30 minutes. That means they're not taking care of anything. That means that they can focus on themselves, whether it's working out, taking a bubble bath, reading a book, doing something that they want to do. That's 30 minutes a day. That's it. There's 24 hours in a day. They're not even spending 1 hour of it on themselves. And that's if they're lucky. That's if they do have some support at home where someone else can help with the chores and all of the, daily duties that everybody has, right? And I thought to myself, you know what? That's definitely something that we need to focus on, and we need to change. We need a little bit more time for ourselves. It seems like our husbands will go off and they'll go do their hobbies, they'll go meet their friends, they'll go, shopping, they'll go do whatever they need to do, but then we're left behind. So we're going to go through some strategies. I got 4 strategies that we're going to hit here in a couple minutes that's going to help you nail some time for yourself so that you can gain clarity, you can kind of relax, and you might even have some fun too. Okay? So 30 minutes a day to themselves if they're lucky. 32% of parents are basically off the clock by 8 p.m. So if you work, not only do you have to get everybody ready for work and school, okay, and for the day period, you may start at 6 a.m. You get your own shower going, then you get breakfast going, and then you get the kids ready or hubby ready, and then everybody's off to work and school, right? And then, so that's 6 a.m., and then the kids go to bed by 8, right? Well, during that time, you still have to do laundry. You gotta, get lunch ready for the next day. You gotta make sure everybody does their homework. You gotta make sure that activities are planned. If there is an activity, you've probably been running since probably 4 or 5 until 8. When are you going to do all this other stuff, right? The dog needs walked, the cat needs fed, papers need to be cleaned up, you got to pay the bills, there's a lot of things, grocery shopping, planning the next meal, doing the lunches. Like, when does that happen? Well, normally that happens after you get home from work, and then also after the kids go to bed. So it really doesn't, by then you're exhausted, you're mentally exhausted, you're physically exhausted. Then you might need some honey time, right? Husband's kind of nudging you and bugging you about that. Not that he's bugging you, but that, you have to then switch gears from mother role to spouse role and have some fun there. And then by then, what time is left? And more importantly, what energy is left, both physically and emotionally? The mental game is very strongly connected with our physical energy too. So if you're mentally exhausted from all the stuff that you've had to do and plan and get ready for, a lot of times that zaps your physical strength too, your physical energy. And we need to kind of prioritize things and flip that. So a lot of times we need to, by 8 o'clock, those kids are in bed, and then you got to deal with hubby or spouse, and then, the rest of the time's for you, right? Over half of the women in that study worked full time. So I get it. I still work full time. Even though I'm only at the practice 3 days a week, I'm still here at the office creating this stuff for you guys. Creating other products. I just submitted my next book to the editor, so that should be done in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'll get it up for you guys to check out. But it dives into the habit formula a little bit more, into parenting and how you can create good habits with your kids by using the habit formula steps. It's the exact same steps, whether in business or personal, but also building habits in your children that stick. So I'm excited about that. But, when do I have time to do everything? People asked me this weekend, my friends did, I don't understand how you do all this stuff. And I said, I have my days planned. I do a to-do list, which is, what chapter is that, 4 or 5 in the book? You got to get a to-do list. Get this book. It tells you exactly how to flip and do it. And then all you have to do is do it. I make a list. Today I had 6 things on my list. Normally I only have 3. I figured a couple of the things were smaller things to do. So I knew I could get those done fast, and I did. So I'm on the last 2 things now. If I don't get them all done, that's okay. I'll finish them up on Friday when my next day is that I have free. that I can work on my extra projects, right? Because Tuesday through Thursday, I'm concentrating on dentistry and my patients and my staff members. So, you have to be a good planner and organizer to be a mom, to be successful in business, and you have to pass those traits on to your children. But you also need to pass along the aura of satisfaction, of self-fulfillment, of living the life that you want to live. Because if you're not happy, how is anyone else you're around going to be happy? They don't make you happy. You have to start yourself by being happy. So let's talk about that in a couple of minutes. Another fact is that women make up the majority of people on antidepressants, which accounts for 15.5 million Americans. So depression can come into all of these things that we as mommies have to deal with every day. And, we got to get a grip on that. We have to make sure that we are carving out time for ourselves and for our friends and our hobbies and things that we like to do so that our lives are fulfilled and we don't need to, think that we need to be on some kind of drug to calm us down, to make us feel better about ourselves. I also read the last thing we're going to talk about, and then we're going to actually talk about how to do all this stuff. I read a Business Insider article that studied 300,000 people, and they found that friends, and especially, and we're not talking Facebook friends, I love you guys. A lot of you guys are patients or, friends that I've known for a long time, but we're talking about your close BFFs, right? These are people that they know your family, they know where you live, they've come over to your house, they've eaten your food, they know your secrets, they know good things and bad things about you and about everything around you, and you only need a few of those close friends. But the Business Insider article said that the people that have a few close friends in their lives have a 50% chance of living a longer life than those that don't have any close friends. And this is regardless of age, sex, and health status. And remember, in the United States, we are not the most healthiest people in the world. So regardless of our health conditions, our age, our sex, if we have a strong connection with other people, and you don't have to have, 8,000 friends, you only have to have a couple of them, that it fulfills us and it creates the energy that, we matter in the world and that we should be here, right? Which makes us want to take better care of ourselves, wants to do things in life and improve ourselves and grow, okay? So we're going to talk about 4 ways that we can carve out time for us and friends. So 4 ways. Number 1 is prioritize. And what do I mean by that? Prioritize. You need to prioritize your activities, okay? Not every activity is important. Not every activity needs to be done today. So if you got a soccer game you got to go to, you had a late presentation, maybe laundry is not on the to-do list today, okay? You need to get it done, but maybe you don't need something for tomorrow, a certain clothing article. Maybe tonight's not the night to do this because you have to carve out, I would say, at least an hour for yourself, okay? So you have to prioritize. You also have to prioritize your free time. So if we're saying, okay, we're going to double what that motherly.com article said about 30 times, we're going to set aside 1 hour a day for us that we can do whatever we want, okay? Now, obviously, you should set a little bit more time, but let's just start with an hour. We're going to double it. We're going to be just like crazy go-getters. We're going to double the time that article said. We're going to do 1 hour, okay? So you need to prioritize how you spend your free time, okay? And not just for yourself, but how the activities go. So your kid wants to have, somebody over tonight, and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't had any time for me to, read up on something that's going to improve myself, or, work on the presentation that I have to just relax because I've had a stressful day. I want to just listen to my iPad. There's a cool story that I've been listening to, on the audio. I haven't had time for that. Guess what? Got to say no another time. Put it off until another day. Your kid's going to understand. Yes, they're going to be fussy, but guess what? They can't get whatever they want. Welcome to life, folks. And this is a great lesson for them, okay? Number 2. Just what I said before. Say no. Say no. Everybody together. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. No. See? No, nobody died. I'm still living. Lightning didn't come down from the heavens and strike me dead. Say no. It doesn't mean you say no all the time, but say no to things that are going to get in your way, that's going to mess up your priority list of activities that you need to do in order for you to carve out some time for yourself. Say no to the kids. Our kids are so entitled these days. They think that, everything's for them and that you're going to do and buy everything for them. Guess what? You need to start saying no and sticking up for yourself. If hubby is being a pain in the butt and they're not helping with something, you need to say no and speak up and say, you have to help. This is, a team effort. And you need to help me with this, and I am not doing it all by myself. You need to stand up for yourself and say no. It's the only way you are going to have any time for yourself to do what you want to do, maybe a hobby, maybe you want to go golfing. Well, you know what? Join a league. And then you've put some money in the game, and then nobody can say no to you, because guess what? Mondays is, golf time, and mommy has some time to herself. So set stuff up, prioritize your activities, and just say no. Number 3, don't be afraid to ask for help. You don't have to be a martyr, okay? Ask for help. I'm not perfect. I ask for help all the time. Okay, Mom, can you babysit Noah? We want to do this, we want to do that. Hey, can I get some help? Or, hey, you got to hire somebody to come. We're going to be out of town for a couple weeks. Hire the neighbor kid to come mow your lawn. We have a lady that comes in to help me clean the house, because it's gotten too much where that's all I was doing stuff in the household, and I wasn't having any time to create my products, to do the things that I wanted to do to fulfill my desires, right? You don't have to be a selfish person. And if you're a mom, you're definitely not a selfish person, okay? Unless you don't have custody of your child anymore. And then that's a whole other issue. But every single mother is a very giving, loving, and forthcoming person. You need to ask for help. That's what your mom is for, or dad. That's what your neighbors and friends are for. If you need help with the kids or need help with certain activities, maybe you need help with your presentation to try to get it ready to go for, the end of the week or for your conference that's coming up. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't procrastinate. Ask for help. It's very important. And the last thing is to actually put it on the calendar. You got to plan dates. So by the end of the weekend, we were talking about, you know what? We had such a good time with my friends this weekend that every year, no matter what, we are going to plan a weekend. It may be, a couple hours away. I might be to another city that's, one plane ride away, maybe Chicago, New York, Boston, DC, Baltimore, that kind of thing, Pittsburgh. But it's got to be someplace that we all say is a sacred, precious time. When that date is put on the calendar, We've already agreed to it way ahead of time, and anything that falls on that date, short of our child being in the hospital, someone dies, or you yourself is so sick you have to go to the hospital, that is a precious and sacred date. So you also have to do the same thing for yourself for your time. So if you do like golf, let's say, for instance, or you like to swim, you are going to carve out time every week, X amount of hours, that's your time to do what you want. And no matter what, short of death or really bad illness, you get to do what you want to do. So you got to do these things. 4 ways to create time for yourself and your friends. 1, prioritize. Say no to things. Number 2. 3, ask for help from other people. And 4, actually plan the dates, put it on your calendar, and make that time a sacred holiday. And that's an easy way for you to create a little more time, carve out a little notch of space for yourself, for your mental clarity, to relax a little bit, get rid of the cortisol, stress levels, and do something fun with yourself. Go work out. Your health is just as important as your family's health, because who's the glue of the family? That's you. You got to take care of yourself. And to do that, you have to physically take care of yourself and also mentally. You have to do these 4 things, or you're going to go nuts. You're going to end up on some medication, and your kids are not going to see the full 100% you. You have so many things to give to them. Your spirituality, your customs and beliefs, all of those things create lasting memories that they'll have forever. But you also need that energy, and you also need to be happy with your life. Know that you're ambitious and you're goal oriented, because that sets an example for your kids and for others. After this weekend, a lot of the women were just asking me, how do you do all of this? And I think it's fun. It's fun creating these videos for you. And the reason being is I learned stuff too from this. When I set these things up, I was like, yeah, I'm writing this down in my calendar. Guess what? 9 o'clock, before I get too sleepy, that's my time to myself from 9 to 10. If my honey wants any time for me, he's got to come in either before 9 or after 10, okay? Because I don't want to get too tired before, I try to create something, write something. I have more books that I'm writing. I'm in the middle of another one. And I need some time to focus on things and focus on what I want to do while I'm listening to music or, whatever. So make sure that you get this list of things to accomplish, and make sure that you're carving time out for not only you, because you are number 1, not your kids, not your hubby, not anybody else. You are number 1, and you need to prioritize that. But also, if you're not happy, then nobody's going to be happy. So make sure you're making it an awesome Mommy Monday. And that's it for me today. Thanks for watching. If you want to check us out on iTunes or Spotify, I upload this podcast so you can get Lunchtime with the Habit Master episodes, and that way you don't miss anything if you can't jump on live. Also, we do have a YouTube channel. I only have 6 subscribers. I'd like to get to 100 here by the end of the year, so subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Stephanie Aldrich, the Habit Master, and I upload these, and there's so many other videos on the 3 pillars of success, on mindset, planning and action, and it's going to help you create awesome habits, but also hit those goals that you want to hit, both personally and professionally. So that's it for me today. I hope everybody has a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow around 1:15 for Tooth Tuesdays. We'll talk about something cool in dentistry that's going on. So that's it. I'll see you tomorrow for another episode. And remember our motto, let's build good habits together.